Hello and welcome back to Economics on the Side. My name is James and we're back here with another stupid economics video today, talking about Tulip Mania, which is the first ever recorded investment bubble, and it occurred in the Netherlands in the early 17th century. So what happened? People realized that tulips were highly exotic items, wonderful flowers, plant them in your garden, and what's best is that you can store and trade the bulbs of the tulip. So, if it can be stored and traded, it can be gambled on, invested, swapped around, and speculated on. And that's exactly what's happened. And it got so bad and so crazy that businessmen and investors alike were just buying tulip bulbs, trading them. There was just no essence of the actual underlying value of the tulip. No one realized that was just a pretty thing you could put in your garden. Everyone thought, oh my god, this bubble's going to go on forever. They're just going to keep going up in value. And eventually people were selling tulip bulbs, albeit rare tulip bulbs, but still tulips, for $1 million in today's money, which is just absurd. And obviously the market completely crashed from 1636 to 1637, and just people lost their livelihoods, people lost all of their money, their life savings, and whatever they'd invested in bloody tulips. Who buys £1 million tulip? It's crazy. So the reason that we have these sorts of bubbles and crashes to near zero, if you look at things like the stock market, the property market, yes, they crash, but normally, unless it's an outrageous depression, they'll never crash by more than, say, 50%. Even recent severe recessions, about 30% seems to be the norm. More mild recessions, 15%. But why is it that these items crash so aggressively? Well, we have productive assets and we have unproductive assets. So a productive asset actually means something. It's bringing something in. A business is earning money. A property is earning rent. You can live in a property. They have value. The business has underlying assets. If you look at things like commodities such as gold, silver, maybe even Bitcoin, these things have no actual underlying economic value. Yes, you can use gold in certain technologies and for jewelries and things, but other than that, the value is just purely speculatory. The value is only based on what somebody else is willing to pay you for that item. And therefore, that item's it's only worth anything as long as people are agreeing and willing to pay for the item. Because if property went to absolute zero, then you could just buy all of the property in the world and rent it out and own the world. If gold went to zero because nobody wanted gold anymore and you bought all the gold in the world, you're just some crazy guy with a bunch of worthless gold, sat in his back garden. So there's productive assets that actually produce something, and there's unproductive assets that aren't really worth anything until somebody agrees to pay for them. And that's exactly what we've had with tulips. So overall conclusion, unproductive assets rely on an agreed upon imaginary value to sustain any value in the marketplace. Thank you for watching. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments section below.